All right, guys, welcome in. Hour number 2 of the program. Ryan Ermanni, Anson Wells, Braylon out today. Tom Mazaway is with us. KG is with us, and so is the great Pete Spivak. Guys, USA Today came out with their NFL predictions this season. Going to go division by division. Going to give you the playoff picture as well, and just see what you think. We'll talk it out. And I do want to start with the NFC North because we are here in Detroit. Oh, never mind.
Sorry, we have the graphics.
That's all right.
So, yeah.
Okay, very good. We'll start with the NFC North first and foremost. They have the Packers winning that division at 13-4. And here's what they have to say about the Packers. What a dazzling statement quarterback Jordan Love made in his first year as the post-Rodgers starter, driving what was the league's youngest roster in 2023 to the verge of an appearance in the NFC Championship game. This talent-teaming nucleus should continue to ascend, especially if it enjoys the expected boosts from the new set of free agent additions like running back Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney. But the real delta here could occur if the new defensive coordinator, who's shifting the scheme and charged with shifting fortunes of a bunch of underachieving despite being armed with 7 first-round picks, fresh rings in Titletown, could be. Packers 13-4, 2 seed.
That's heavy.
And news today, by the way, Jordan Love will not be in camp until he signs his long-term deal.
He's actually in camp, but not practicing. Still goes to meetings, but they're close.
Distraction.
They are close.
It's a distraction.
Yep, they're close.
The longer it goes,
they'll have a deal done in they'll have a deal done tomorrow. Guaranteed.
Well, and if they don't, the longer it does go on, I agree with you, Anson. I do think that is a little bit of a distraction. I think if you're the Green Bay Packers as well, I mean, can we see the guy do it for more than half a season?
Yeah.
And I know everybody's on the Jordan Love bandwagon. Everybody loves Jordan Love. Jordan Love is the best quarterback in the division. Jordan Love is the best quarterback in the NFC, heaven forbid.
Pretty much.
Jordan Love is the best quarterback we've ever seen in our lives. Best Packers quarterback of all time. Can we see it for more than half a season? If I'm paying this guy that money,
thank you, Ryan.
I'd like to see him accomplish it for a full season.
Unfortunately, they didn't replace Rodgers as quickly as they replaced Favre, so they're a little closer to that rookie deal ending. I got to be honest, this Packers love drives me nuts. This Jordan Love drives me nuts. But as a Lions fan, I absolutely love it because what we did last year, we should be the favorite. At the very least, right there is the 1B to the 49ers. But they're sleeping on us like they have since day one when Brad got here and Dan got here. So I like the fact that the bullseye is through the media on the Packers' back right now. This fits into exactly what the Lions thrive in. Count me out, and I will step on your neck.
I'll make this short and sweet.
I love that.
Packers are not winning 13 games. They're not. They're going to win 10 or 11 games, and we'll see what happens after that. They have an easier schedule than the Lions because the Lions won the division. They have a first-place schedule. But you don't know how easy or how hard a schedule is until the new season starts because there's always teams falling off and teams climbing back in. Packers ain't winning 13. They're not winning that division by 2 games. They're out of their mind.
Just getting back to what Anson said, though, I think you make an excellent point. An excellent point. If you're Dan Campbell and everybody is just giving you all kinds of love, it is nice to start putting stuff like this up.
All day.
Nobody believes in you guys. One-hit wonders. Yeah. And I do think you need that as motivation. I do think professional athletes are motivated by being, quote-unquote, disrespected. This feels like being, quote-unquote, disrespected a little bit if you're the Detroit Lions. They do have the Lions in the playoffs, is the 5 seed, winning 11 games. Here's what they had to say about that. Like the Pack, their Lombardi bid last season came up just short in a playoff loss at San Francisco. However, outside expectations will now match what head coach Dan Campbell has demanded internally from his team for the past few years. The rest of the division, the Lions just won for the first time, is also fast improving. A pathway to the first Super Bowl berth in franchise history likely requires a strong start is the Lions play just 2 home games over an 8-week period spanning October and November, but it could happen if the young core continues to blossom. Jameson Williams needs to step up and reaps results from an upgraded pass defense. So Lions, JMO talked about as well, but I think this defense is where this team has really improved, specifically the secondary, everywhere really, every level, because I think even the linebackers have gotten better with the going to year 2 with Jack Campbell.
Absolutely.
I absolutely think that. So 11-6 for the Detroit Lions. Feels like that is kind of what I said. 11-6. I just don't believe the Packers are 13-4.
Me neither.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if both of these teams finish with 11 wins, and it's going to come down to a very difficult division that you referenced there. Lions have to hold serve with the Minnesota Vikings and the Bears. If they win all 4 of those games, I think that they can win that division with only 11 wins. Packers are very good, and their offseason was spent trying to basically shore up their issues that the Lions were able to take advantage of. And they've done a good job of that this offseason. So if the Lions can win 12, I'm not worried about the Packers. But an 11-win season for the Lions, it's going to come down to a tiebreaker, I believe.
Hey, 11 wins, I'll take that all day.
Yeah,
Just be
certainly.
healthy for the playoff run.
Certainly.
That's all I care about.
And, speaking of playoffs, they do have the Chicago Bears getting in as the 7 seed.
Yikes.
The Bears in at 7, 3 NFC North teams making it to the postseason. Bears 9-8. And again, this could be the biggest miss that I've ever had in my life. I just do not believe in the Chicago Bears.
Amen.
I just don't.
Amen.
I don't believe in Caleb Williams at all. At all. I just don't. And again, why don't I believe in him? Couple of things. One, I don't think he's got the temperament to lead an NFL program. 2, he fumbles way too much. If you go through every single game that he's played, and I went through every single game that he's played going back to Oklahoma, he puts the ball on the carpet at least once per game.
Yes, sir.
At least once per game. But those aren't reflected in any statistics because his team more often than not recovered those fumbles. You can't do that in the NFL. He has had every single game that he has played. 90% of the games that he has played in his collegiate career, he has had better talent on his side of the field than the team that he's going up against.
Good call.
Offensively, you really don't have to do anything. You can just run around back there and wait for your elite offensive receivers to get open. And it's no slight. That's what I would do in college too. But it feels like your athleticism could get you there in college. And I'm sorry, he's just not a Pat Mahomes type of guy to me.
No.
If he is and I'm wrong, I'll say I'm sorry.
We have no idea.
I just don't believe it.
Well, you look at his rushing, where he did the majority, about half of his touchdowns last year came on the ground, where he averaged 0.9 yards per carry. Season before that, 1.9. The season before that, 3.9. He has regressed as a runner. Now, everybody talks about his ability to make plays and ad-lib when he leaves the pocket. When you watch the first half of his seasons, when he's playing against lower talent, he's able to make those plays and really look magical when he's scrambling and making plays on the run. Second half of the season, when he's playing top 25 talent, in division talent, those ad libs where he's doing it around better athletes, that's when you start seeing those fumbles and those mistakes. Now, when you're talking about a guy who has not been a successful runner beyond the line of scrimmage in the college game, I don't see him having that escapability and athletic ability. Once you got guys that are running, 4.6 40s at 270 pounds, his ability that everyone is in love with, I've seen it absolutely not present against highly athletic defenses.
Yeah.
And that's all he's going to be facing. Now, once he hits that adversity, he is an intriguing young man. He's a guy that I would kick it with. I love hearing some of the stuff that's going on in his brain. I don't think it's going to translate to a good quarter of many football NFL locker rooms. So your ability to lead that you don't like for him, I'm going to double down on that. When things get tough, when you've got an already positioned number one wide receiver in DJ Moore, you have an all-pro Keenan Allen coming in who's going to want the rock, and you have a Rome Odunze there. Who's going to get the ball? Is a rookie quarterback going to keep all those guys happy? We already know that DeAndre Swift is a problem. So everybody's celebrating all these people that they've brought in around to surround this young guy. I've seen it before with the former Redskins. I've seen these super teams come together and they have never, ever worked. The problem for Caleb, I think, is that there is so much pressure now with people like this right here picking them to make the playoffs. The moment they taste any kind of failure, I don't think he has it in him to hold the team together.
Well, we'll never know that, and I'm just going to say this:
tough city too.
When we did our predictions at the beginning of the year, way back when, I had 3 teams making it. I had the Lions, Packers, and Bears making the playoffs. I think
Braylon's got the Bears making it too.
Yep, he agreed with me. I said 9 and 8 or 8 and 9. 9 and 8 gets you in. 8 and 9 does not. I said I think they're almost where the Lions were 2 seasons ago when the Lions made that run. Early start, bad, then great finish. And, of course, they get nipped out of the playoffs. And I believe the Bears have enough talent to figure this out and be in the game, in the hunt. We'll know. Hard Knock starts in a week or so. The rookies are in camp. Camp will start this week for the Bears and for the Lions. We'll find out. But that division is closing in on the old AFC North, which we'll talk about later.
You know he got benched twice in OTAs?
Who did?
Caleb?
I did not know that.
He did.
I did not know that. KG, you want to weigh in here? By the way, Vikings 5-12. Not much expected of the Vikings this year.
Yeah, I just don't understand why the Lions are number 2 in this. When we got to the NFC Championship last year with the roster that we had, and then we improved. Like, we went through the each position group. That was like a month ago, and we all said they improved in every single area. So I just don't understand why they would have the Lions 11-6. I think this team is competing for the number 1 seed this coming season. Of course, the Packers will be their biggest competition, but we just need to see another year of Jordan Love before we can crown him.
And just to look around the rest of the league, in the NFC West, they do have the 49ers getting the 1 seed, 13-4. Rams getting in the postseason, 10-7. Not much expected of the Cardinals and the Seahawks. In the NFC South, Kirk Cousins of the Atlanta Falcons, or should I say Michael Penix Jr. and the Atlanta Falcons, 9-8, another close division. They've got the Bucks on the outside looking in there. Saints and Bucks at 8-9. Panthers quadruple their win total from a year ago. They've got 4. NFC East, this is interesting. Eagles 10-7. 10-7 wins the NFC East. Cowboys, Commanders, Giants, all with losing records. What do you make of the NFC East, Maz?
Cowboys. Braylon called it, right? He said Cowboys are going to have a down season. To me, 10 wins for the Eagles sounds low, but they gave their wins basically to the Packers because they made the NFC North the old NFC East, because the NFC East used to have 2-3 teams making the playoffs. I think they're a little off on the Eagles' win total. I think they'll win at least 12. Cowboys, I can't see them under 500 with all that talent. And I know they don't have a running game. We'll see what they come up with. Washington, I think they're on the upswing. Giants, 4 wins. I got a lot to say about the Giants. I'm not going to say it right now, but I think Joe Shane is going to be on the ropes in that one. I do believe that.
So aside from the Cowboys and the Bucks, who obviously made the playoffs last year, who do you guys see as a dark horse team that you feel could make the playoffs?
Or the Commanders.
The Commanders.
Oh, yeah.
I love
I got Bears.
Jaden Daniels, baby.
I got Bears as my dark horse.
Well, they're already. I meant one of these ones not highlighted, and that wasn't there last year. So we're talking Commanders, Commies, Giants, Vikings, Cardinals, Seahawks, Panthers, Saints. Anybody out of there
that team?
What was that?
Commanders are that team, and
I
now,
also like the Cardinals. Cardinals are sneaky.
I think
with
you're
a full
right about the
season of
Cardinals.
Kyler.
I absolutely think you're right about the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, a full season, he played. I don't want to say really well last year, but he played pretty darn good last year at the end of the year when he was healthy. And a full season of him, can he stay healthy? That is the big question,
Great draft,
as it always is with Kyler Murray. But yeah, they had a great draft. And again, when you look at Jaden Daniels, I think the Chicago Bears are going to look back one day and say,
oh, yeah.
Not only did we miss on Patrick Mahomes, but we missed on the closest thing.
He's a polished Lamar Jackson. I think. I really think he's a polished Lamar Jackson.
They passed up on the Texans quarterback, C.J. Stroud as well. Let him go.
That is.
They were damn well going to take a quarterback this year by hook or crook. And like I said, I was in Chicago this past weekend. Made a lot of friends. I met a guy, Sean McHugh. He's on the chat here. Sean is a huge sports fan, and he believes that the Bears are going to be 8-9, 9-8. But they have that anvil hanging over their head like Lion fans do. I mean, they haven't won since 1985 for crying out loud. So you never know. You just never know what's going to happen there. Caleb Williams is a huge question mark, but he's got the keys to the castle, man.
That's right.